Let me tell you a very fascinating story as to why the internet is the fakest place you will ever come across. Like you, sometimes I see successful people on my phone and my brain can't help but think, oh damn, they're so successful, I'm not. What am I doing wrong? Am I worthless? Should I kill myself? My brain says a lot of crazy shit when I see very successful people on my phone 5 years younger than me, naturally. Right? You can relate, right?
Facts.
One of those people is doing really well in life. He went on holiday to his home country. He's not actually from the UK. He's from somewhere else. Very driven, very self-motivated, very ambitious person. Doing great in the UK. Goes back home every year or so to see his family. On Instagram, every other day I'm seeing him at a party, our social gathering, at a university giving a talk or giving some kind of presentation, at a barbecue. Oh, next day he's at a pool party with his friends and family. Smiles, laughs, cheers abound, you understand? Having the time of his life. Or so you think, right? He comes back, I run into him on the street. I'm like, oh, I saw you back in so-and-so on Instagram. How was so-and-so? You look like you're having a blast on so-and-so. Oh, yeah, man, it was a blast. Honestly, I had a great time. Saw some friends, got some much-needed sun, you know, having a break. You know, I really needed that break. So do you go back home every, year or so? Is that what it was? Is that like a routine little break? Oh, yeah, I guess I try. I guess I try to go home every now and then. I'm sensing a bit of apprehension at this point here. I was like, okay, so when was the last time you went? Oh, 3 years ago. Oh, really? Oh, what? Why did it take you so long? Why did you go back home now? Oh, so I had to go back home, against my own will because my sister died.
Dog.
So I had to go back home for the funeral.
Dog, man.
That's why I had to go home.
Dog.
Did he post the funeral on his Instagram? Of course he didn't.
No.
Of course he didn't.
No.
The people you're comparing yourself to are going through a lot of shit that you'll never know about, that you will never see. They're only showing you the highlights. You're comparing yourself to somebody else's highlight reel. You're not comparing yourself to another actual real person. You don't understand that. And the quicker you understand that, and the more frequently you reiterate that, the better you will feel when you see other people on your phone screen that seem to be having a blast. Because nobody's really having a blast like that. Everybody's struggling. Everybody's got problems. You won't see those problems, but they're there. Understand that.
I was born in 2001. Billie Eilish was born in 2001. If I start comparing myself to Billie Eilish, I will want to jump off a bridge.
There should be a social media where we deliberately just post our trauma and the bad things that happen to us instead. I think that will
You know what? It sounds good in theory.
It sounds good. Nobody would use it, but
yeah.
if we can incentivize people somehow,
No,
you know what I mean?
in my head, I think it would gamify it. Then it will become like Depression Olympics. You know what I'm saying though? Someone who look, I'm just going through
oh my God.
I broke my leg. I'm a D1 basketballer. I broke my leg. Oh, sad. Well, my sister died last night. You know what I'm saying? So initially, in human history, social gatherings were to reinforce community. And then at some point, it became to project well-being. And then social media came into the mix. And that projection of well-being got intensified to such a degree. People get BBLs, put plastic in their faces. Niggas will spend £1,000 on a bottle of alcohol in a club, all to prove to people that they're doing better than they actually are.
I like how you picked up the apple juice when you said alcohol.
Yeah, man. The moment you try to play the status game of trying to compete with somebody else, if we all competed with Michael Jackson to see who could be the best Michael Jackson, you're going to lose. Even though Charlie Chaplin came third in a competition of Charlie Chaplin lookalikes. That's a fun fact. Yeah, it's a really weird fun fact. Yeah. So
that's odd.
Some niggas could beat you at being you.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The most famous people, well-known people of renown, have an image that they present to society. And a lot of the time, it is so pedestalized that it becomes an unrealistic reflection of who they really were. Einstein is one of the most famous figures in history. Everybody has an idea of Einstein. But there's people in history and in the world who actually knew Einstein for who he really was. They called him by his first name. They were his friends. They were people who cared about him. They were his family, his missus, the people he loved. So then you have to ask the question, when all the people who really knew Einstein died, do you think Einstein will truly be remembered? People know an idea of you. And this is why Charlie Chaplin probably came third in a competition, right? Social media, the aim is to put your best foot forward. But what you don't realize you're doing is you're showing people almost like a distilled. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah.
A distilled version of you.
A distilled version.
Yeah, taking out all the extra
Yeah.
and just leaving like the pure molecule of the thing that attracts people.
Yeah.
If you're putting out a distilled version of you and everyone else is putting out a distilled version of them, do you really know anybody if only all you know them through social media?
The answer is no. You don't know them. You don't know anyone that's not in your physical realm. But I do advise you to, when you come across people that you like on socials, and I don't know, they might be like within your proximity physically. Show love. Try to turn it into something real. You know what I'm saying?
Show love. Show people love.
The internet's not real.
No.
Show people love.
No.
Understand that your story is okay. You don't need to use the elements of anybody else's story. Your story is unique, and that's what makes it essential. Right?
Quick one. I made a series. Well, me and this guy made a series on YouTube. Remember that? Somebody came up to me the other day and heavily berated me for the way I treated the girl in the series.
The other day.
Actors are not real, you know.
Yeah.
They're acting. They're playing characters. It's the same thing as social media. Don't believe the character they're playing. People found out Henry Cavill was British and not American, and people cried.
People cried.
Tears.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Let's just say that again, though.
So figure it out. To sum it all up, being
Wait.
yourself is never a crime. It never has been. It never will be. Showing the best version of yourself on social media isn't the problem. It's believing your own lie, and it's believing everyone else's lie to you. Do you know what I mean by that?